Hey guys, I'm waiting for more viewers to come in. Hey guys, I'm waiting for more viewers to come in. Hang on with me. Are you guys excited for today's session? Drop a yes in the chat if you guys are. Hello, hello, hello Vikram, hello Kripa. Okay, uh, so do you guys know what the session is about today? It's about Git basics and how you can use Git to save your work like a pro. Okay, more people are dropping in. So let's start the session. Type a quick one in the chat if you think that you are scared of putting in git commands in the terminal, and if you think that type a zero in the chat if you think that you are good at terminal and you're pretty confident about it. Okay, more people are coming in. Okay, I see one from Prashant. I see a zero. Oh, someone is scared of merge conflicts. Okay, more ones. Okay, don't worry. So, regardless of all the ones today, you are, by the end of the session, I promise you that you will all be adept at Git basics. And those who are new here, you can learn with me. And those who already know Git, I saw 1-0, you can revise along with me. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so one thing, guys, that everything that you're going to learn today is also available on the official GSOC contributor guidebook. I'm talking about this guidebook that was shared earlier with you guys. And if you guys haven't been able to access this guidebook, we can drop it again in the Discord chat today. So, if any of you would like to revise the concepts that we're going to discuss today later on, you can refer to this contributor guidebook, especially the sections 2, 3, 4, and 9. Okay, so let's jump into the step 1 now. So, first, you need to configure Git on your computer. And to do that, let me open my terminal. Um, to check whether Git actually exists on a computer, you need to type this command in your terminal. And if you see a version number show up like it does in my terminal, then that means that you're good to go. And Git needs to know your identity further. So you need to configure it properly. And let's see whether it's configured using these two commands. Oh, Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys, I had an issue, so I had to go. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so you need to check whether your Git is already there on your computer. You did that through Git version, and now Git needs to know your identity. So you're going to check whether Git knows your identity through this command. So your name should pop up like this. Next, you're going to check whether your email ID is also configured properly. Yeah. So if your email pops up like this, then that means that Git knows your identity properly. And one thing you should note here is that your GitHub account should be exactly the same. Sorry, the terminal email should be matching with the GitHub account email exactly. This is important because if they are different, then GitHub will not be able to verify who exactly wrote the code, and your commits will look completely anonymous. And then the system will not be able to check or track your leaderboard correctly. And that's how your points will not sink in. Okay, so now that we have configured Git properly, let's move on. So this is the step two. Let's talk about writing professional commits. So when you save your work online on GitHub, try not to use generic messages for committing, like fixed code or made changes. Let me demonstrate the same to you. So let's say if this is my Git terminal and I'm trying in, try not to put in commit messages like fixed code or um, made changes. These kind of commit messages, they do not look very professional. It makes you look amateur and makes the project admin's job very hard because they don't understand the context of what you actually edited in the code. So instead, what we recommend is using a clean and standard format. A clean and standard format would be putting in the type name, then a short description of the commit that you're making, along with the issue number, like this. Okay, so when I say types, what type of commit messages can be there? So if you're fixing an error or bug in the code, you lead the type with fix. For example, fix, maybe you fixed the toggle button. So changed the toggle button that is how you explain what kind of commit it is, and you give a description of it, and then maybe you also put in the issue number. Since I don't have an issue number right now, I'm not putting one. Next is the feat type. The feat refers for adding a new feature. Maybe you added a brand new component or feature in the code. Maybe you brought in a new button in the front end, or you created a new API endpoint. So that is how you put in the word. In that cases, you put in the commit message of feature. Next, sometimes you can make changes in the text files or the comments or the README. That's when you put the commit message as docs. And then you give a brief description of what exactly did you change or add in the docs. Okay, so now that we are done with understanding how to write a professional commits, let's move on to how the real JSOC workflow. What kind of JSOC workflow are you dealing with here? Since you're all going to be contributing to open source projects, there are three steps to contribute safely. There's fork, clone, and branch. Okay, so let me demonstrate these three steps to you by opening a real open source repository. Let me open. Okay, so this repository is called Account Safe and it is listed on the JSOC website as well. Earlier, I had raised an official issue in this repository. Let me show you. So I had raised this issue in the repository, and you can see that the project admin had assigned this to me. So even though it is assigned it to me, I cannot write code directly in the admin's original repository, and this is because public projects are logged to protect them from unauthorized changes. Only the project admins are the ones who can push code here in the original repository. So how can you contribute to this repository? You can fork it. So I will again go to the main section and I'll click on the fork button that you can see here. I'll click on create fork. And now you can see that that yeah, this created an exact copy of the whole project under my own GitHub account. You can see my name reflect on the URL as well. And this I can now safely work on this project without affecting the original project. Okay, so let me do the next step. Now that we've forked this, we can now clone this project. So I'm going to run the command git clone. Um, by the way, I got this HTTPS link by clicking on this code button, and then I clicked on this link under HTTP. Now I'm just going to run this command in the terminal, and as you can see, the download is taking place right now. Perfect. So the download is finished now and cloning is complete. Let's enter the project folder now using the change directory command. So I'm just going to write cd and the name of the repository. Now we're inside the repository. One thing to note here is that you never write code directly on the main branch. You always create a new branch for every change. So let's create a professional branch for our issue right here. I'm going to write git checkout -b feature async security pipeline, because that's the name that I would like to give this branch. And you can name the branch anything based on what kind of feature you're introducing or what kind of fixes you're making. So we have switched to this new branch. Um, to clarify why I did this, think of the main branch as the final product and a feature branch as your playground where you can experiment. So, by creating a new branch, you keep your experimental code completely isolated, and then, even if your own code breaks, the main project continues to stay perfectly safe and untouched. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. Now that we're done with the JSOC workflow, let's talk about how we can fix mistakes and inspect changes in our repository. So everyone agrees, right, that we can make mistakes while we're working on the terminal using Git, right? Drop a yes in the comment section if you've ever made a mistake. Yes, Peter, that is correct. Okay. For all those who are asking doubts, I'll take up doubts later on. This PDF, Avani, we'll be dropping it again today in the Discord chat, so you can access this contributor PDF. Don't worry about that. Okay, perfect. So again, we've all made mistakes while working with Git, right? So that's all right because Git. One good thing about Git is that it provides an amazing group of commands that actually I like to call the rollback crew. This is the rollback crew that I'm talking about. Okay, so um, let me do one thing. Now that we're inside this project, hmm, let me clear this actually. Hold on. Give give me 1 second, guys. Guys, absolutely sorry for this mistake, but my terminal actually crashed and I was not able to type in commands. But I'm back and let me just open the command terminal again. Yes. Uh, so I was mentioning how we can fork, clone, and branch. So let me do that again. Um, yeah. Uh, so I had taken this HTTPS link, all right, and we were typing in the git clone command. Right, okay. I had already cloned it, my bad. So we're just going to move into that directory. And now we're in that directory. So now what we're going to do is create a new branch. You can give any name to your branch, like I said earlier, based on what work you're going to do. Um, and I had also already created a branch. My terminal crashed, so that's why I was running these commands again. Next, let's do one thing. Let's create a mock file for the purpose of this demo. So I'm creating a .env file, and in this file, I'd like to paste this command. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So, like I was saying, that I would like to type this in the command line, the contents of the env file. So, I'm just going to put in. You can learn all of these commands as you explore Git further. Right now, you don't have to figure out how to put on content within a file from here. I'm just doing this because my terminal had crashed. So this is okay. I'll just clear this for the. Okay, let's start a new fresh terminal actually. Hmm. So so let's say that we these are the local variables that we're putting in our local. Hold on. Again, absolutely sorry for this. Actually, I kept running into issues, but yeah. So let me share both the screens in split sense. Uh, Again, going into the directory. Now we can perfectly work here. So I have created a new item, and within this env file, so within this env file, I'd like to paste this command. So we've created this new env file for the purposes of this demo, and let's say I accidentally run this command. So this way, I've basically just staged all the files in this repository, and I didn't mean to push this env file. Why? Because a .env file, it contains your private API keys and your database passwords. So if you push it to GitHub, your automated malicious bots on the GitHub will scan and steal these keys within seconds. So you should never push a .env file, but don't panic here because Git often allows us to undo our mistakes. And in this particular case, we can undo this accidental staging without losing our edits to the code by typing the following command. Yep. Follow through with this PPT. You can type this given command here. Okay, reset minus minus soft head F1. So what this command does is that it makes sure that you don't lose your edits. I haven't lost my .env file here, but it has been unstaged. We can check this as well. Hold on. So, so you can see that the .env file is no longer there. Let's add another file now. This is again for the purposes of the demo. Um, so let's say, okay, hold on. Hmm, Where is yeah. Hmm. Uh, Thank you so much for being so helpful here, guys. But I keep running into issues. Actually, I lost my laptop a few days ago. Let me fix this issue. I'm back, guys, and no more technical issues now. I faced a lot of issues a bit recently, but here we go. As I was telling you guys again, so let me recount from where we were earlier because I think the last few commands have been a blur. So we were trying to add a file called .env so that I can show you that sometimes we stage the wrong files that we don't mean to add on GitHub, but we do stage them. And I was trying to teach you guys how to unstage them and how Git can save your work. So let me just yeah. So now I'll run a command to um, create a new item. Okay, let's create a new item called .env. Actually, oh, it already exists. My bad. Sorry, sorry. Yeah. So .env already exists, and let's put in some content here that .env files usually have, like your port can be 5000 and some Java Web Authentication secret key. As you can see, guys, I've faced a lot of issues recently, and you can just see कि sometimes Git works in really wicked ways as well. But there's always a way to come back from this, like I came back right now. And I've created a .env file, and I'm going to add all the files here using this command git add dot. But we're not supposed to add the .env file, right? You never push .env files, like I said earlier, because it contains your private API keys and database passwords. And if you do push that to GitHub, then there will be certain malicious automated bots that can scan it and steal your keys, and you don't want that. So how do I unstage this now? So if I run the function or the command git restore staged.env. Not much. um, again, let me run the git status again. Okay, there's a safe file. Let's debug this issue. What we can do here is okay. Me. Hmm. Uh, that is true, Peter. Yeah. So sometimes when your app crashes, then sorry. Yeah. Becomes clear. That is true. That is true. Okay. How do I So as you can see, the file is the .env file is not there anymore in the stages, and I've also added a new file called safefile.txt, and I'm going to add this file. Um, maybe I want see. I haven't written any content here, and maybe I accidentally added this file. I'm gonna add this again for the demo, and I'm going to write a commit message, temporary code. This is again just for demonstration purposes. So to fix, and I'm going to commit this. Now again, this is something that I didn't mean to commit. I This was too early. I meant to write more content here in this file. So what can I do to unstage this file? I can just run the command git reset soft head, and now this has deleted my last checkpoint, but even though it deleted my last checkpoint, it is still going to keep all the content in that file safe. Had I written some content in this file, it would have kept all that content in this file safe. It wouldn't have deleted the content as well. So this command gives us a chance to fix our mistakes or write the commit message cleanly. Okay. Now let's move to the pro inspecting tools that I've mentioned here in the slide. So I'm going to run this command called git difference. Okay. Actually, for that, I will have to write certain code. Let's do one thing. Let's maybe remove this line from the code. Okay. Now I'm going to run this command git difference. See, now it is showing me in red the code that I just removed from this file, and whatever else is there in this file. So basically, Git gives you a line by line breakdown of what all unstaged modifications are there. The plus sign is for the code that is added, and minus is for the code that is removed. So using these commands, you can have a perfect sanity check that you can do to review your work before saving it. I'm going to add that code again. Okay. Now, if you would like to see a history list of all the checkpoints on this branch, to check how previous commit messages were formatted, maybe by the project admin or earlier contributors, you can just type this command git log one line, and this will give you an entire notebook of all the checkpoints that were made earlier. And while I haven't made any new commit on my own, these are all the past commits that were inherited from the main project repository. So similarly, when you make your own commits in the repo that you choose from the open source projects available on the GSOC website, then if you run this command, you can see all the past commits in a short row like this, and you can verify everything is correct before pushing it to GitHub. Okay, so before I take questions, let's look at the one last rule that is mentioned on the slide. Never push .env files. This we've already discussed. The second thing I've discussed is you should never run git push force on shared branches. So why am I saying this? Because force push it overrides the cloud history. So if other contributors are also working on the same exact branch, then force push will delete all their hard work and it will break the repositories. So for playing safe, and you always just work on your own fork and protect your team's file, and you never use this exact commit. Okay, you never write this commit git push dash dash force. I'm not going to press enter because, again, like I said, it overrides the cloud history. So now I'm open to questions, and if you can write your questions in the chat, or if you would also like to reach out to me for doubts or just connect with me, here are my socials. You can find me on GitHub and LinkedIn. Let's move on to questions. Yes, Peter, I'll put my GitHub ID in the chat. And if anyone has any questions, you can hit me up, or the PDF, right. The PDF will share it on Discord soon, by tonight itself, so that you can revise all the concepts that we taught today. And guys, I would like to say this again. Apologies for all the problems that we came across today. Next time, I assure you that you'll have a better experience. And thank you for being an incredible sport. Thank you for understanding the problem on my side. And I'm ready to take questions if anyone has. Peter, if you'd like to connect with me, we can connect on LinkedIn. I can talk more there. Uh, right. Okay. So why Git push force is dangerous is because um, so when you do git push force, you actually overwrite on the cloud, and let's say other contributors are also working on the exact same branch, then a force push will delete their hard work and break their repositories. So it is always advised not to use this command, and to play safe, you work on your own fork and you protect your team's files. So Somi, in the next session, we'll be talking more about forks and how to do clones and all of that. In that, we will also discuss the merge issue in detail, because I know how problematic merges can be. Um, Person has coded. Um, are there any more doubts, guys? Okay, I see one doubt. So Git push force. Oh, excellent question, Peter. Yeah, Git push force is fine when you're working completely solo, but it it is still not advised, because it can sometimes clean up your personal history, or it can rebase completely. So it is not advisable. Instead, sometimes you can use the. Let me share my screen again. if it's really required to use git push force, you can instead use the command git push force with these. So this is a safer alternative because it checks if someone else has pushed changes to that remote branch since you have last pulled, and if they did, it blocks the override so that you don't accidentally wipe out the work that someone else did. Okay, seeing that there are no more doubts, thank you so much for the incredible energy, guys, tonight. And I hope you guys have a wonderful time in JSOC. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.